How to become a real estate investor with no money. I know, you're like, there's no possible way that I can make millions of dollars investing in real estate and start with nothing. Well, that is not true. I literally started from my parents' basement, broke, bankrupt with bad credit, and today I am a multi-millionaire from real estate investing. In this video, I'm going to share with you all the secrets on how you can get started with no money and turn that into a lot of money. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 simple things that you can do to start investing in real estate with no money. I'm also going to share with you how you can get your first $10,000 payday in less than 6 weeks. And I'm going to share with you my real story on how I got my first deal and again, how you can do it too. So the first thing that you need to know is real estate investing is still the #1 way to wealth. More millionaires have been created through real estate than all other investments combined. Therefore, you have to know that owning real estate is one of the greatest things that you can do, and it is something that you literally can start with no money and turn it into money. Because real estate is one of the most abundant things that we actually have in the United States in our economy, it is one of the main staples of our economy and is one of the economic indicators that lets us know if we're having a great economy or a poor economy. But the great thing is that you can make money even when the economy is down or when the economy is good. So let's talk about how you can make money right now in this market. So like I said, I started from my parents' basement, broke, bankrupt with bad credit and no money. So let me tell you how I did that, because that's going to be very important on how you can start making money right now. Literally, I had lost everything by investing in real estate without any education. I was in my early 20s, I was living in Atlanta, and I started investing in real estate and flipping houses with a full-time job. Well, when the market crashed in 2007 and 2008, I lost everything and had to move back to Connecticut and live in my parents' basement and go to school. Well, while I was in my parents' basement, licking my wounds, feeling all sad and depressed and just a loser, I started going to real estate investment classes. I started going to conferences. I started going to seminars. I literally started sneaking out and decided to learn how to invest in real estate. I literally started sneaking out of my parents' basement and started going to classes and seminars so that I could educate myself. And when I was at one of those classes, I learned a concept called wholesaling. This is going to be very important. Just stick that in your mind, because this is not where you're going to end, but this may be where you start. So my coach started telling me that I could find people that were just like me. They had lost their home or they were losing their home, like I had been through foreclosure, and I literally could put out signs that, say we buy houses. I could send out letters to people that were behind on their mortgage payments, and I literally could find these people absolutely free using public records. Well, that was the beginning of how I got my first deal. I literally bought a list, and again, I spent a little bit of money. This is again how to do, you could do it with no money, but I spent a little bit of money to buy a list of people that were in default. Literally, when someone is behind on their mortgage payments, say they're 3 or 4 months behind on their payments, the bank will file something called a notice of default. This is public records, letting them know before they go into foreclosure, they are putting them on notice that you are in default. This list is amazing because, again, the person is not yet in foreclosure. They are in a status that we call pre-foreclosure. Well, when I sent out those letters and said that we buy houses and we could help them out of that situation by buying their homes, I was able to get those people under contract and then flip those contracts to other investors for a fee. This is called wholesaling. My coach told me that I should charge $5,000, and that is what I did and how I got my first deal for $5,000 with someone that was past due on their mortgage payment. They were about to go into foreclosure, and we were able to get them under contract, and then I flipped that contract to an investor for a fee. That investor then buys the house and closes on it, and the people move out, and we have a deal. In other words, I was the person that was helping investors find rental properties, find properties that they could fix and flip. I was helping them find distressed properties. This is very valuable to real estate investors, and this is how anybody can get started investing in real estate with no money. Literally, you just find people that are having property problems. So let me explain that, because that is the #1 thing that you can do to start investing in real estate with no money. So So the first thing that you want to do is marketing. There's basically, like I said, 3 steps, okay? And the first one is being marketing. So it's market, convert, solve. So let me tell you about marketing. Marketing is just, again, sending letters, putting out signs, putting out billboards. Whatever it is that you do to market, you can find lots of people that are behind on their mortgage payments. I'm sure that you have been out driving around and you've seen signs that say, "We buy ugly houses," or "We buy houses," or "Are you behind on your payments?" ? Or "We pay cash for houses." Well, guess what? These are all marketing to find people that are behind on their mortgage payments. Literally, if you are not in distress, you're probably not even going to notice those signs. However, if you are in distress and you do have a property to sell, you would call that number on those signs. Another amazing thing, like I said, is letters. You literally can buy a list and send them a letter or a postcard that says, "Behind on your payments, ? We can help." Or "We are buying homes in the area for cash. We can help." Or "Are you facing foreclosure? ? We want to buy your home." Again, you're saying to the person that you can help by buying the house. Not saying that you're going to help them with a modification or you're going to help them get foreclosure help. None of that. Literally, you are a solution. You are going to buy the home, and marketing is the number one way to start finding those people, get them to call you, and then you have lots of different options. I'll talk about that in a second for you to make money. Number 2, convert. Once you started marketing and putting out signs and letters and getting people to call you and say that, "Yes, I'm in distress. Yes, I'm behind on my payments. Yes, I lost my job. Yes, I'm in divorce," whatever the situation is, "I want to sell my house." You got that from marketing. Number 2 is convert. You now need to just have conversations with those different sellers, get them to sign the contract where you will buy the home. Again, you're going to buy the home and you're going to put and or assigns as the buyer so that you can assign the contract. You're also going to do what's called an option fee, where you can terminate the contract for a fee. Again, you can make that fee whatever you want, $5, $10. Most of the time, the seller doesn't even realize that you put that in there. And then that way you have a contract and you have time to be able to flip that contract to someone else. It's a very simple process. And again, if you want to learn more about it, you can actually start working with me and my team by going to callnoel.com, schedule a session, and we can help coach you through how you would do this long term. Number 3, solve. So like I said, there's 3 easy steps: market, convert, solve. Solve is the third one. So what are you now going to do? Now that you have the contract in hand, what's going to be your solution? Well, if you're first starting out and you have bad credit and you don't have any money or whatever the situation is, most likely you're going to have to wholesale that contractor to an investor for a fee. That's easy. But if you are in a situation where you have decent credit and you want to do a fix and flip, you literally can fix and flip the property and make a big profit. In many cases, I have just painted the walls and put some new flooring in and put the property right back on MLS to sell it for a retail buyer. Literally, I flipped houses in 4 and 6 weeks, not even a very long time, and I was already selling the property back. Again, the person was in distress. They were facing foreclosure, but I am not facing foreclosure. So I actually have more time to get that property sold at a higher price. Or you could even make it a rental property. Literally, this is what my investors do with most of the distressed properties that we find. They do what's called a buy and hold. They keep those properties, they become a landlord, they find a property manager, they put a tenant in that property, and they keep it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and then they sell it and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars because the property has gone up in value. So again, real estate investing is the number one way to wealth. So there's so many different things that you can do to start making money, and it does not have to look like what you see on TV. You literally can flip a house in just a matter of weeks. I have a gift for you. I want you to get all 4 of my books for free. You just cover the shipping. If you are actually interested in learning how to turn your life around and make more money, you gotta start reading books. And I have 4 books where I detail every single step. I give you checklists, templates, scripts, and everything that you need to be successful in real estate, rental properties, rental cars, and so much more. Get all 4 of these books at noelsbookoffer.com. Go there right now because supplies are limited and we are almost sold out. You can get these 4 books absolutely free. You just cover the shipping at noelsbookoffer.com. Go there right now. That's Noelle, Noelle with an S, book, BOOK, offer, OFFER. noellsbookoffer.com. Go there right now, get all 4 of these books. We will ship them immediately so that you can have all the resources, all the tools, and all the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.